Hi everyone, this is Mrs. V Chen. Welcome to my Form 2 Math lesson number 25. Today's topic is about identities, and there are two parts in today's lesson. Now we come to the first part 1, which is here, to determine whether each of the following equations is an identity. Now here we have an equation, and this is the left hand side, this is the right hand side. So if it is an identity, that means the left hand side must be equal to the right hand side. So therefore we have to prove whether it is true that the left hand side is the same as the right hand side. Alright, next, after left hand side, we come to the right hand side of the equation. So here we have 3 times 1 minus 2x and then minus 1. Alright, so what we need to do is to simplify what we have on the right hand side. So that would be 3 times 1 is 3, and then minus 3 times 2 is 6x, and then minus 1. Alright, so to do this, to do simplification, we must arrange that into a nice order, and then we start with the highest degree, so that is minus 6x, and then we come to the constant term. What is 3 minus 1? So that we have plus 2. Alright, so therefore you can see left hand side minus 6 plus 2, and the right hand side also minus 6 plus 2. Therefore, since left hand side is same as right hand side of the equation, therefore we can make conclusion and saying that this equation, this is an identity. Alright, so this is how we prove whether the equation is an identity or not an identity. If the left hand side is same as the right hand side, then we say that it is an identity, means which is exactly the same. Okay, so B here, we have another equation. This is the left hand side, this is the right hand side. We are not sure whether the left hand side is same as the right hand side, so therefore we always need to separate. Step 1 on the left hand side, so therefore copy that again. So on the left hand side we have this. Okay, and next we need to simplify. So here is multiplication. So what we get here is x times x. We have x squared minus x and then minus. Okay, now here we come to subtraction of polynomial, and since this is the minus, after removing bracket, be very careful. So that would be minus 6 and then plus 2x. So this is very important, otherwise you make careless mistake. Alright, so next, arrange the polynomial into a nice order. Start with the highest degree, so x squared, and then this is minus x and then plus 2x. So what is it? Minus 1 plus 2, so we get plus 1x and then minus 6. Okay, so okay, we do revision about coefficient. Alright, so here is the polynomial. So what is coefficient of x squared, which is 1, and then coefficient of x, which is 1, and then now we come to constant term, which is minus 6. So we just do revision about this polynomial on the left hand side. Okay, after that, right hand side. So right hand side of the equation. So we copy that. X plus 3 times x minus 2. So this is about multiplication of polynomial. So x times x and then x times this, right? Okay, so we have x times x, x squared minus 2x. Okay, after that we have this multiplication of polynomial. So 3 times x is 3x and minus 6. Okay, simplify. Start with the highest degree. Alright, so what is this? Minus 2 plus 3x, so that plus x, right, minus 6. So you can see coefficient of x squared is 1, coefficient of x is also 1, and then constant term is minus 6. So you can see which is exactly same as the left hand side. So therefore, since left hand side is same as the right hand side of the equation. Conclusion, it is an identity. Okay, so this is how we prove whether the equation is an identity or not an identity. If it is an identity, we say that the left hand side is exactly same as the right hand side. Okay, next we come to see here, we are also given an equation, and then we need to prove whether the left hand side is same as the right hand side. Alright, so we start with left hand side, always separate the left hand side and right hand side, so we just copy that again. So we have this polynomial times this polynomial. Alright, so we do it step by step. So what is 2x times x here, and later on we do this, right? So that will be 2x times x is 2x squared, and then minus 4x, and then next we come to this term times this term. Okay, so that will be 5 times x, so plus 5x, and then minus 10. Okay, so next 2x squared. So what do we have for this? Minus 4 plus 5, so which is plus 1, and then minus 10. Okay, again we can do revision about what is coefficients of x squared for this polynomial, which is 2, and then coefficients of x, which is 1, and what is minus 10? Minus 10 is the constant term, which is minus 10. Okay, so this is the left hand side of the equation. Next we come to right hand side of the equation. To copy that one more time, 2x squared plus 2, and then x minus 5. Alright, to simplify, so we have this 2x squared plus, okay, step by step, this is multiplication, so we need to expand this part. 2 times x, 2x, 2 times minus 5 is minus 10. So you can see this is an identity or not an identity. Okay, so let's see what is COE, okay, FFICIENT of x squared, which is 2, and coefficients of x, which is 2. Okay, you can see this one and this one is not the same now. Alright, last constant term, what is it? Constant term is minus 10. So you can see left hand side and right hand side. Left hand side is not the same as the right hand side, therefore it is not an identity. Okay, so this is how we prove whether it's identity or not an identity. So here we have example 2. We do the same thing, determine whether each of the following equations is an identity, but we do some difficult questions. So here, this is the equation. Alright, so this is the left hand side of the equation and then the right hand side of the equation. Remember, to prove, we must separate the left hand side of the equation and right hand side of the equation. So left hand side we have m squared minus 2, 3m plus 8. So therefore we have m squared minus, so here we come to multiplication. Okay, so minus 2 times 3, we have 6 minus 6m, and then minus, be careful, minus 2 times 8 minus 16. Okay, alright, so coefficient of m squared is 1, minus 6 is coefficient of m, and minus 16 is the constant term. Okay, right hand side we have m minus 8, and then multiplication times m plus 2. Okay, step by step. So this term times this, therefore we have m times m, m squared, and then plus 2m, and this one times this. Okay, so we have minus 8m minus 16. Alright, so simplify m squared, okay, what is this? Plus 2 minus 8, so we have minus 6 m minus 16. See? Okay, so coefficient same. Minus 6 is the coefficient of m, and the constant term is minus 16. So since left hand side same as right hand side, therefore it is an identity. Okay, so here we have a difficult one. So this is the left hand side and this is the right hand side. So if you look at the right hand side, actually we don't need to do anything, but we need to simplify the left hand side. So here I have left hand side, which is same as 3r over 4 minus 7r plus 9 over 16. All right, so this is fraction. So how to make them the same? So we need to change the denominator here, okay, to 16. So this is 16 and then this is also 16, right? So how do we change 4 to 16? So enlarged by 4 times. So 4 times 3 is 12r. All right, okay, and then no need to change, so I just copy 7r plus 9. All right, okay, since we already have the same denominator, so we can combine them together. So this is 16 and then we have this 12r. Okay, something very, very important. Actually, if you combine them together, minus actually is minus the whole thing, so therefore that will be minus 7r minus 9. Now this is very, very important. So since we have a negative here and actually minus the whole thing, so which is plus, change plus to minus. Okay, so the final answer we have 16, 12r minus 7r, so we have 5r and then minus 9. So you can see if you make comparison, so which is same to right hand side or no, not same to right hand side. This is not the same as the right hand side. Okay, so conclusion, since this time left hand side of the equation is not the same as the right hand side of the equation, therefore it is not an identity. Okay, we do another difficult one. This is the left hand side of the equation and then this is the right hand side of the equation. Actually on the left hand side here we don't need to do anything because this is already the simplified answer, so that we do simplification on the right hand side. Okay, so therefore we have this, so and then y plus 1 over 4. All right, so this is fraction. To make them the same, we need to find the LCM of 6 and 4, right? So 2 is 3, 2 times 3 is 6 and then 2. So what is LCM? We have 2 times 3 times 2. So this is 2 times 6, 6 times 2 is 12, right? Okay, so that's LCM for 6 and 4 is 12. So that this is also 12, right? Okay, so how do we change from 6 to 12? So enlarged by 2 times, 2y minus 1. And then how do we change from 4 to 12? Enlarged by 3 times. Okay, so we find LCM, change everything to 12, and then this is what we have enlarged it by. 2 times here and 3 times here. Since we already have the same denominator, therefore we can combine them together. So, okay, so to combine them together, so we do here, we do this, right? Okay, so that would be 2 times 2y, 4y minus 2, and then minus, okay, 3y. Again, be very, very careful. This is negative. This is negative, so that we must change. We must change this to minus 3 times 1 is 3. Okay, so this is very important. So this must be negative because minus the whole thing, there is bracket here, but we don't have brackets. And whenever we have a negative one, be very, very careful. All right, so finally, So we have 12 here for denominator, and let's check. 4y minus 3y, we get 1y, and then minus 2 minus 3, which is minus 5. So this is what we have on the right hand side. On the right hand side, we have this y minus 5 over 12, and check the left hand side. Yes, which is exactly same as the left hand side. For question 3 here, so since the left hand side is same as right hand side, so therefore it is an identity. So after that, so this is the last question in today's lesson. So we do one MC question, so which is, which of the following is an identity or are identities? Okay, let's look at the first one. Left hand side we have x squared minus 4, and on the right hand side we have 0. Of course they are not the same, so this is not an identity. All right, what about part 2 here? So we need to simplify. So this is the left hand side, and then now we need to simplify the right hand side. Okay, so I have my steps and workings here about point 2. The right hand side, we have this x minus 2 all square. So what is the meaning of x minus 2 all square? So we have this same as x minus 2, and then times another x minus 2. Okay, so we do it step by step to simplify the multiplication. Okay, so this is x times x, and then do the same as before multiplication. So x times x, so we have x squared, and then minus this one, 2x. All right, okay, and after that we come to the second part. This one and this one. So again we have this minus 2x and then plus 4. All right, so we can still simplify this. Okay, so therefore we have x squared minus 4x plus 4. So this is what we have to point number 2 on the right hand side, and then check with the left hand side. Left hand side is x squared minus 4, right? So you can see obviously which is not the same as the left hand side for part 2 here. So we say that the second one, which is also not an identity. So we have the first one not an identity, this one not an identity. Okay, and finally, all right, so point 3 here, we need to prove it. Okay, so again this is the left hand side, we don't need to do anything, but however we need to simplify the right hand side. So that's point 3 here, right hand side, we have this x plus 2 and then x minus 2. All right, expansion step by step, this one times this. So x times x, x squared minus 2x, and then this one times this one, we have plus 2x minus 4. Okay, so what's left here? What is minus 2x plus 2x? Actually they cancel out, no more, so that we have this x squared minus 4. Okay, let's check the left hand side. The left hand side is also x squared minus 4, which is same as the left hand side. So we say that. What about part 3? Yes, this is an identity, so the answer to this MC question will be B. Alright, so this is how we do proving about whether the equation is an identity or not an identity. So thank you for watching my video. See you next time. Bye bye.